The Devil's Truth. How Abu Hurayrah learned the secrets of sorcery. This is the true story of one of Islam's most renowned figures, a man lovingly nicknamed Abu Hurayrah, the father of the kitten for his gentle heart. But this tale reveals another side of him, a vigilant guardian whose encounter with a creature of the night would uncover the hidden mechanics of black magic. It is a story that pivots on a bewildering paradox, that the ultimate secret of spiritual protection could be revealed by a being of absolute deceit. It forces us to ask, what happens when a trusted companion of a prophet is warned about the darkest arts, not by an angel, but by a devil itself? The shadow on the dates. In the luminous city of Medina, the air itself felt blessed. It was a time of brotherhood and revelation, centered around the presence of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. In this city, the charity collected for the poor was a sacred trust. The responsibility for guarding the dates gathered for the festival charity, a lifeline for the city's most vulnerable families, had been given to the trustworthy Abu Hurayrah. He was a man defined by his devotion, his incredible memory for the Prophet's words, and his own personal experience with profound hunger, which made his guardianship of the food a deeply personal duty. One evening, as he sat vigil in the quiet storeroom, a flicker of movement in the shadows caught his eye. It was a stealthy, unnatural shifting. With the unflinching courage that faith instills, Abu Hurayrah lunged and caught the intruder. The being he seized felt otherworldly, its form shifting and ephemeral, like trying to hold smoke. Under his firm grip, the creature solidified into the shape of a frail old man. But what happens when the heart of a saint is tested by the cunning of a devil? The thief, in a voice as dry as dust, pleaded that he had a large family and that starvation had driven him to this act. For Abu Hurayrah, a man who knew the sharp pangs of poverty all too well, the plea was a mirror to his own past. His resolve softened, and with a heavy heart, he let the creature go. A promise of smoke. The following night, the air in the storeroom felt heavy with betrayal. Abu Hurayrah, now angry with himself for his soft-heartedness, stood watch with a renewed sense of purpose. As he anticipated, the shadow returned. He caught the thief again, his grip now like iron. Annoyed. "You promised you would not return." Abu Hurayrah's voice was sharp with disillusionment. Sternly, "You are a liar." Determined, "Tonight I am taking you to the messenger of God." Panic contorted the creature's features. The threat of being brought before the prophet was more than it could bear. It renewed its desperate pleas, swearing oaths that it would never return. In a moment of conflicted mercy that he would later regret. On the third night, there was no conflict left in Abu Hurayrah's heart. There was only the cold, hard certainty of duty. When the Jinn, driven by its insatiable nature, appeared yet again, Abu Hurayrah seized it with finality. "This is the end of your lies," he said, his voice calm and unyielding. "There will be no more bargains. We are going to the messenger of God." The Jinn began to tremble violently, its form flickering. Pinned and with no escape, it played its final desperate card. "Release me," it hissed, "and I will teach you a secret from the very heart of our world. I will tell you how the sorcerers gain power over you, and I will give you the one weapon that shatters their work completely." How can the most valuable truth be wrapped in a vessel of absolute deceit? Abu Hurayrah paused, his grip unwavering, but his interest captured. The Jinn, seeing its chance, spoke in a hushed, urgent tone. "The dark arts you call magic are a pact. The sorcerer ties knots, both real and symbolic, and uses them to bind one of us, a shaitan, a devil, to their will. We become the instrument of their evil. But there is a verse in your own scripture so powerful that it unravels every knot. It burns us. It erects a divine shield that none of my kind can penetrate. The Jinn revealed its priceless secret. When you go to your bed, recite the verse of the throne, Ayat al-Kursi, Qur'an 2:255. Whoever does so will have a guardian from God appointed over them, and no devil will approach them until morning. Having traded the master key to his own kind's defeat for its freedom, the Jinn was released one last time, and it vanished into the night, leaving Abu Hurayrah alone with a truth that felt as heavy as a stone and as brilliant as the sun. The liar told the truth. The morning sun cast long shadows as Abu Hurayrah walked towards the Prophet's mosque. His mind was a storm of questions. The secret he now possessed felt like a burning coal in his hands, a gift of immense value from a deeply corrupt source. How could he be certain? As he approached the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, he saw a gentle smile on the messenger's face, as if he was expecting him. Before Abu Hurayrah could utter a word, the Prophet asked, "O Abu Hurayrah, what did your prisoner do last night?" In a rush of words, Abu Hurayrah recounted the events of the third night, the desperate bargain, and the stunning revelation about the verse of the throne. The other companions listened in stunned silence. When he finished, the Prophet's smile widened, and he delivered the words that would resolve Abu Hurayrah's turmoil. "Wise, he has told you the truth," the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, affirmed, his voice carrying both warmth and profound wisdom. "Even though he is a habitual liar." That single stunning sentence validated everything. The secret was real. The protection was guaranteed, and the event was a powerful sign from God, who can compel even his most ardent enemies to serve his divine plan. What greater proof of a teaching's power is there than when its truth is confirmed by a prophet and its effectiveness is confessed by an enemy? Abu Hurayrah's heart was flooded with relief and a profound sense of awe. He was no longer just the guardian of dates. He was now the carrier of a sacred trust, a secret of spiritual defense for the entire Muslim nation, authenticated by the highest possible authority. A shield for every believer. The story of Abu Hurayrah's encounter did not end in that storeroom. It was only the beginning. It became a cornerstone of Islamic tradition, a practical, powerful tool passed down through generations. But what does this event teach us today, in a world where the knots of evil take on many different forms? The secret that the devil was forced to reveal is a lesson in divine sovereignty. Reciting the verse of the throne is far more than an incantation. It is a conscious and powerful declaration of reality. When we recite, "Allah, there is no God except Him, the ever-living, the all-sustaining," we are verbally realigning our own hearts, declaring that our fears, our anxieties, and our problems are all subject to the one, absolute authority. When we affirm, "His throne extends over the heavens and the earth," we are shrinking our own worldly troubles to their true size in the face of His infinite majesty. The knots of modern life may not always be tied by sorcerers. They are the knots of anxiety that constrict our chests, the knots of despair whispered by a culture of negativity, the knots of envy tied by social media, and the knots of doubt that seek to weaken our connection with our Creator. These are the tools of the same ancient enemy. How do we, in our modern lives, use the key that Abu Hurayrah was given? We use it by transforming the recitation of this verse from a nightly routine into a conscious act of spiritual warfare and liberation. It is a moment to pause, to breathe, and to hand over the guardianship of our soul to the one who never sleeps nor slumbers. It is a shield, not just for our bodies at night, but for our hearts and minds at all times. The liar told the truth, and that truth has set us free, giving us a divine weapon to unravel every knot that seeks to bind us.